And lest we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ. In our home country, slavery and Jim Crow all too often was justified in the name of Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. We have so much to get to. What you just heard I find disgusting. Disgusting. Not surprising, because it's coming from the President of the United States, this President. This was at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning. And, you know, when people who understand what's going on and are willing to talk about it, we acknowledge the Crusades, and we know what they were all about, and we understand the Inquisition and all, but that was 800 years ago, okay, or more. And then we say in the next breath, we're in the year 2015. Nobody does that anymore, okay? Nobody acts like that anymore, except radical Islamists. So the president, in some twisted, sick attempt to, I don't know, justify what radical Islam is doing today, burning pilots alive, beheading Christians, killing, he brings up the Crusades, and then tries to say that Jim Crow was done in the name of Jesus Christ? Really? Wow. I mean, this is as twisted and sick and revisionist, and he's making excuses. Let's say everything he said was true, which, I mean, he's using this to make a cockeyed, sick, twisted analogy to say, hey, you know, we shouldn't be on our high horse. You know, we can't judge these Muslim terrorists for killing innocents, because remember what happened 1,000 years ago. Really? He just gave, you know what he just did? He just gave the green light. Hey, you know, radical Islam, I'm a Christian, and we did it, you know, hundreds of years ago. That's what he just said to them. I could see this coming from Ahmed Chowdhury, who I'm going to have on in a couple of hours in the 5 o'clock Eastern hour. I could see him saying that, bringing up the Crusades, and me clobbering him for it verbally. But the President of the United States, who never stops apologizing for himself, his religion, his country, he brings it up at the U.S. prayer breakfast? What is wrong with this man? What is his agenda? Because what you just heard, and there's a lot more, I'll say it again, is sick, twisted, and I'll give you another one, dangerous. All right, now, talk about sick and twisted. Not quite as dangerous, though. Brian Williams. Brian Williams has been saying for 13 years that he was involved in a helicopter, a Chinook helicopter in Iraq that was hit by an RPG. Guess what? Finally, he got called out on it by a soldier who was there. And now he had to apologize, but he's given cockamamie apologies. Watch this.
I believe we have a strategy at this time.
I believe I understand our strategy at this time, Mr. Chairman. I also...
Can we stop that? All right, let's go to 63. That was my fault. I hit the wrong button. 63.
Our traveling NBC News team was rescued, surrounded, and kept alive by an armored mechanized platoon from the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry. Command Sergeant Major Tim Turpak was put in charge of our safety. We quickly realized we were from neighboring towns in New Jersey. He went on to fight the war and invade Baghdad and serve several more tours, earning 3 Bronze Stars. We got to return to our homes and families thanks to him and his men.
And he says that he was hit by an RPG. Today he apologized for it. We'll let you hear all that later on. He apologized. He said, I made a mistake. I've been saying that I was in the first helicopter that got hit by that RPG, but I was in fact in a helicopter behind the helicopter that got hit. Oops. Oops. Are you kidding? This man's whole career is based on trust. Trust. People have to believe what he's saying. Not that I do, but people who watch him. How could he go on? I mean, folks, the world is out of control. We're going to talk about it, some of it anyway, the ISIS portion of it in Jordan and all that with Richard Pearl. He's next. Don't go away.